Welcome to the tour of Corpus Chromatic. Upon entering, this is the really beautiful graphic they've got on the wall with the artist statement I wrote for this. And there's one that still needs to hang, but I let it rest there kind of indefinitely. And here's the guest book. A little cochlea on the front. And had some really amazing entries and shares from people from so many different places, and so it's just been really cool to read. And one of my favorites, got my winter gloves on. One of my favorites comes early in the series. This is maybe my favorite part. Just being able to read what people have written and how this artwork impacts them, or if it brings something up for them in relation to their body. And that's what I love to hear about. You know, this is sort of my process and my journey of reconnecting with my body and appreciating the organs within in a way that I never actually have before. So being able to do that now and read people's entries and experience is like the best gift. And so this is the liver. Some of us call it the after party. And gonna walk around and just give a little pause at each place. I feel like one of my big goals is to write and publish a giant, big, beautiful coffee table book. This one has a lot of texture. If you look closely, you can see these are cut up credit cards and glitter. This is my favorite. It's 48 by 48. And this one was in planning stages for a really long time. Until I found the right surface to paint on. This is a little voice box on top of an abstract painting that I thought was finished but needed a little something extra. It's one of my favorites. We are right in the middle of Omicron right now, so I'm double masked. Expanse was almost a study for the width of my love. These two kind of go together. I'm studying the lymph node both very zoomed in and in a more abstracted, less detailed way. Definitely looks like a tongue to me. We're sliding through the back hall. And I like to hang these two together to show the comparison of the venation or branching formation that happens both in plants and trees and within the human body for a more even and efficient distribution of material. This tree represents a real tree. That exists about a half a mile from my home and is one of the last remaining trees in a logged field, and it just stands out majestically. No one's here so I can do this. And so this tree is really special, and I'm glad it made it into this show. This is one of the first pieces of the whole show to be created. This is the thyroid. Behind that is the trachea, and then the larynx. It's a cross section of a kidney, a little gold leaf. This is a healing thyroid. It's the way that I painted it. It's what was in mind and my heart when I painted this one. Nothing feels better than using your voice in truth. To do no harm, but to speak the truth. And this is the voice box. Besides the obvious connection to communicating effectively and from the heart, this is an organ, a system that functions both physically in an efficient way when we're able to sing, or hit a pitch that sounds good, or to be able to speak words that we can hear and that others can hear. And it's a beautiful shape in its own right. This is a view from looking vertically down the neck. Those are the vocal folds. And we have some sensory and motor neurons, the little gold leaf. And I'm not sure why I chose these colors. A lot of times I choose colors as I create them, and it's just what comes to mind. Sometimes I don't really know. It's unplanned. And that seems to be what works. So this pink is just sort of vibrating with life and color and energy. And a nice little cheesy connection to, I think it's Patti LaBelle's Neutron Dance from the 80s. Makes me think of Beverly Hills Cop. And this is perception. bit of a different style. Some more dendritic spreading and shape the optic nerve. Translation listening. This painting began as an exercise in expressing frustration, a conflict, a verbal conflict going on in my life with someone I care about, and it evolved into what I see as a more calm, energetic, and active listening, as opposed to shutting out or yelling or ineffective communication. The blue kind of represents a more calming influence on the agitated state of not listening when we're in conflict. That's my actual ear, taken from a observed drawing, observational drawing that I did a few years back. This is one of my favorites. This is called The Sound of Silence. It's the cochlea of an ear, and it's just one of the most still pieces. And I think it represents, for me, a peaceful existing, a being that doesn't involve a doing. It's a listening, it's an existing, and it also looks like a crayfish. Thank you for joining me on this virtual tour. These two are created after. This one is called The Brightness of Being. It's a cross-section of the human brain, facing the left instead of the right, and most brain drawings or paintings are facing the other way. Typically, this is because the left side of the face is considered more attractive or idealized, and so this is a brain painted facing the opposite way. Without the skin around, I wonder if there is, in fact, any more aesthetic appeal or difference. And this is a painting done from a model of a spine. It's a mixed media piece that I enjoyed creating, and I added it in. The last second, it's untitled as of this point. Thank you for joining.